right, and welcome at MRV Motorsport F1 Series Season 2, Round 6 at the Hungaroring in Hungary. Welcome. Yes, we're gonna go through the following order. Only 10 drivers on track this time. Unfortunately, we had a lot of people who were sick or didn't have the time to compete. This time around, hopefully they will be back next time. Malone at first place, Vanatti second place as usual, and then Constantino Georgiades or Georgiades. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name still, your last name, but very well done on third place on the grid. Antich fourth place, Ain't fifth place, very nice qualifying for you, and then Vasic on sixth place. We have Bonari, 7th place. Carlo Gabriel at 8th place. 9th place for Sandel, Valdemar Sandel. And 10th place, closing the order, is for Diaz. Alright, we are going to take a look at the start. And 3, 2, 1, and off we go. Lights are out. Very good start from Vasic, I can tell already. We're gonna take another look at that in a second. Malone wasn't fooled in turn 1 as we see some contact there. More back in the pack. But Malone stays on first place, followed by Vanatti with a great start as well. Vanatti could challenge Malone a little bit in the first corner, but Malone covered that off pretty. Alright. Okay. Third place for Vasic, closely followed by Constantino. And this is going to be a pretty nice battle here. Because I can tell you Constantino does have the same pace at this moment in time in the beginning of the race. So really close to Vasic. Let's see how that's gonna work out. But the gap to the leaders is already a little bit getting better. And a move from Constantino. Very well done. But Vasic is at the inside for the next corner. And he can get his position back there. Going up to the long straight, as it is not so long on this track actually, but only 7th gear. Yeah, but can Constantino get back at Vasic before lap 2? And he cannot. The DRS is still closed, of course, but alright. Maybe that will be a possibility for Constantino in the upcoming laps. Whoa, going really wide there, trying for a move and actually going outside of track 2. Oh, and a little mistake. I have to say, I think this was a little bit too risky to pull it off like that. We're not gonna turn back time so much, but in this case, gonna do the look. Constantino going outside of track here, and when you pulled out this move, it was gaining an advantage by going outside of track. So yeah, it was actually lucky that you had that moment and stayed behind Vasic, so it's avoided penalty then. Because when you go outside of track and gain time or speed or whatever, or a position, yeah, that's not done. So you have to plan another move for the future when something like that happens. Alright, we're gonna go back to the start as promised, because there was happening a lot of things. But let's first take a look at the start of Amar Vasic, because he was starting at 6th place. But look what he does. He taken already 1, 2, and 3 positions before the first corner. And then closing into the leaders here. Very beautiful start from Vasic. And yeah, he was telling me before the race, I know how to start this car. And yeah, he did it in Monaco. Gained a lot of positions at the start. And also here at Hungaroring, he gained 3 positions only by starting in a beautiful manner. So very well done. And that's also the reason that Constantino is closing in so fast, because he was actually faster in the qualifying. And as you also can see, Vesic is on the soft compounded tire. Constantino is on the super soft compounded tire, so he has the advantage in the first couple of laps. And that's why he can follow Vesic so really close here. All right. Going back one more time to the start of the race, because there was happening a lot in the first corner with some drivers more back in the pack. So following Diaz here, can see what's happening here, and there is a moment. All right, yeah, let's see what's happening to Aint. All right, braking a little bit too late here and trying to avoid, but someone else is coming close in front of him again. I think until now it is Ainge's fault here to brake a little bit too late, and then he cannot avoid making contact to Constantino, and also Antich. So a double touch to Constantino, but luckily no spins here. But I have to say, this contact could be avoided. Luckily, no big damage here, as I believe, and Constantino can challenge Vesic, as we already saw. So a little incident in turn 1, but it's so small that it's actually really painful to give some penalties for this. But yeah, we have to do this, as we all know already, to keep realistic and fair for everybody. We just everybody the same, of course. All right, we go on board with Carlo here. He's really close to Sandel and also Antich. Luckily, the leaderboard is doing a better job right now. Hopefully, it stays that way, as if I don't move back in time or fast forward too many times. All right, first lap, back of the pack. Yeah, real close still, of course, but not real fighting here. Only Georgiades or Georgiades is really close. I have to say, Antich is also really close here to those two. All right, and of course, Vanotti still following Malone. Slight gap here after 1 lap, 1.5 lap, but not enough to cover that 1 second gap for the DRS. But I have to say, same story as in Monaco. The DRS is not that powerful here. It's a real small track, the Mickey Mouse track it's called, because it's so small, and also the straight is really short. So only 7th gear there. So I think low downforce doesn't make any sense on this track. But yeah, as it is high downforce, the top speed will be reduced, of course. So, end of the story. Overtaking, again, same story as in Monaco, really difficult. But it is possible, as we can see in the following, in the upcoming moments. Alright, Vesic, what happened to you? Alright, a little bit back. Oh, and a little bit of a mistake there from Vesic, and that was actually the reason that the gap to the leaders was getting bigger. Let's see. Georgiades following really close here. Vesic really fighting this battle on the yellow tires. Here a move from Georgiades. But Vesic let it stick at the outside. I think we already saw this move, but it's beautiful close racing here. but it is going to cost some time, and that's what we see. The gap to Vanotti is getting bigger and bigger. Only almost 4 seconds now. So yeah, when you're fighting, it's gonna cost time, and you're gonna lose out to the guys in front. But yeah, it is racing. Sandel, Valdemar, lucky you are feeling better, mate. And following Antich pretty close. A little bit of a gap here. He can see the fight unfold right in front of him. And there Antich goes outside. Ooh, and Carlo was also really close. Okay, we're gonna take a look at that again. Maybe it's a good idea from Carlo's view, because Antich made a mistake, made a spin there in that fast left-hander. Where is Carlo? Right behind Valdemar. Valdemar needs to avoid hitting Antich, and also Carlo needs to avoid making contact, going actually at the other side, outside of track. Yeah, and now we have a situation here, because yeah, I have to say, Sandel was in front, staying inside of track. Carlo going outside of track, overtaking Valdemar, and so he's gaining a position by going outside of track. Yeah, and there was the mistake from Constantino there. What am I going to do with this? It's a little bit difficult, because it was an avoiding action of Carlo, of course, on Antich. Yeah. Let's take one more look from the car of Sandel, but I think I leave this with a racing incident. Yeah, he really needs to brake to avoid contact. You cannot expect from Carlo to, yeah, adjust on that. Okay, I'll leave this with as the way it is, and we continue the race. But real close racing here. It was an exciting moment, a little bit scary, of course, but and unfortunate for Antich that, yeah, again makes a mistake there, and it's getting. I know Antich has a real steady driver. Of course, he switched steering wheels, and yeah, maybe he needs to adjust a little bit more. But he's making more mistakes than I'm used to from him. But all right, let's take a look at Georgiades again. I think this is the most beautiful fight at the moment. But Ain't is also close to Sandel there. It's pretty close until now. 4 laps into this race, and a lot of guys still close. Also, Diaz following Bonardi really close here at fighting for 8th position. Alright, Ain't is a little bit more close. Let's take a look at this. Ain't was going for a 2-stop strategy here, and I'm doubting actually if that was the right thing to do, but it can be if you have some damage, or you have some, when you're stuck behind the slower driver, you cannot overtake him for some reason, or yeah, it maybe can work, but yeah, in general, I think when you do a 50% race on tires that degrade as usual as a 100% race, as we do here at MRV Motorsport, then I think the one-stop strategy is usually the better one. But yeah, as I said, when things happening on track, maybe you can make a different choice then. All right, quickly go back to Georgiades, because he's close to Vasic again on the long straight, opening the DRS. I have to do a little bit of a different camera angle, and there he goes for a move, going to the inside, and this time he is in front and makes it stick. But Vasic coming back again at him, coming in the inside on turn 3, 2 actually. And then going side by side through that fast right-hander up to that. You cannot go side by side here, guys. What are you doing? And Fages is bailing out. Both going a little bit outside of track, if I'm correct. But yeah, close racing. This track is so tight. So yeah, really good job from you two guys. It must be really exciting. And yeah, as Georgiades overtook Fages this time, let's take a look if he can make a gap. To cover that 1 second DRS time to Fazic, and he has to be fast because this long straight is already in a couple of corners coming up. So lap 6 at the moment. All right, I think the gap is big enough for Constantino to cover Fazic at this straight. But now the next question is, of course, the red tires, the C4 tires, are gonna drop off pretty quickly, at least quicker than the soft tires. So how long is the advantage, the tire advantage for Constantino here? And it's actually the same story with Malone in the front. He built a gap of 2.5 seconds almost, and yeah, but he has the C4 tire on his under his car, and yeah, they're gonna drop off, and then the yellow tire will be better. So yeah, Malone at this point was already thinking about yeah, how long can these tires last? This red ones. I actually was thinking that it was a kind of a mistake to start on this tire, but I think the yellow tire was a better choice. But yeah, when you make a choice, you have to make the best out of it. And yeah, up until now, he's still first, so no problems there. Vanotti is close, 2.2 seconds, a little bit of the same pace between the two of them. And yeah, going back to Fazic here. Ain't really close to Carlo at the moment, going to his car. Let's take a look from inside his car. Closing into Carlo, but it's really hard. The DRS is not really giving you enough time to really gain on another driver. But getting close in the second DRS zone is helping out here a little bit, but you're on the outside here. Can you make this move stick? It's really difficult, but hanging in there, but he has to stay behind Carlo this time around. And as we discussed earlier already a little bit, Ain't was going for the two-stop strategy, and now I can see why, because I believe he has a better pace than Carlo, but he cannot get past him. And then you have to consider yourself, well, yeah, can I do something in the strategy to maybe get in front of him to be able to drive my own pace. Ain't did a really amazing practice lap. He was really at the front runners this time, but unfortunately he is 6th placed at the moment, but you never know. All right, do we have some? No, we're gonna stick with this fight for a while because this is the closest fight at the moment. And Carlo going at the outside here, but it was a kind of a defensive move from Carlo. You have to defend here then too, Carlo. You leave the gap open, and there Ain't is going for it. Coming to the inside, but the next corner is to the right again. And oh, when you push the car to the limits, yes, the risk of making a mistake is getting higher as well. So now he Ain't lost the contact with Carlo, and not only that, he also lost the position, if I'm correct, to Antich. It has to be. But why is Antich at fourth place? Is the leaderboard corrupted again, or what is happening here? I think the time at Antich is something strange here with the 103. Yeah, I think when we go over the start finish line, it will be corrected again. At least I hope so. Back to Malone. 2.5 seconds still to second place, and then third, a gap of almost 14 seconds to third place. And there we can see Fasic made a mistake somehow, somewhere, and he lost contact with Georgiades now, for real. And yeah, but fourth place is still a very good result, especially when you started at sixth place. So yeah, hang in there, don't make mistakes, and get those points to the leaderboard, because it's really getting an interesting championship here. Malone is at first place, but only 4 seconds, 4 points, splitting them up with Vanotti at second place. um, third place is I have to think about this, but the third place is for Jimenez, but Jimenez couldn't make the race this time around, so he is not gaining any points in the championship today. Fourth place, I believe, is Murali, but also Murali is not attending today. Then we have fifth place in the championship, and that is actually for Yet, if I am not mistaken. And that means, sorry, but also Yet is not attending today. So let's take a look at who didn't we see so much. I think Bonardi, we didn't see Bonardi at all, and he had a great fight with Antich, or who told me? Who told me? I cannot remember everything. But let's take a look at Bonardi for a while. He's close to Antich. Is that correct? It is Antich, right? No, it's Sandel. He's close to Sandel. There's something strange with the timings of Antich, but all right. Bonardi close to Sandel, then yeah, the times are totally wrong again. How far are we? I think I'm gonna cut here and try to fix the timings. I have to, but we are looking at Fasic, and he dropped off quite a bit, and now fighting Carlo and Antich. At least the timing seems to be a little bit better right now, but I don't know in what lap I got back on track. But it is interesting to see that the Fasic was dropped back. Maybe a mistake or something. I'm not sure. It's too soon for the pit stop, I believe. Maybe they are already coming up. I cannot see the lap times anymore for some reason. Let's see if I can fix that. Laps? Is this? No, that's not what I need. No, okay. I'm sorry. It's just the way it is. I need the laps. Let's see if I can see the laps here. Lap 11. Yes. Okay, it's lap 11. Antich is going to the pit. Yeah, and as I can tell you guys, all right. Antich went to the pitch. Fajic was fighting Antich, but also Carlo, if I'm correct. But okay, we're going to DS. DS at 9th position at the moment. I don't know, 8.5 seconds behind Bonardi. Bonardi on his turn is 1.3 seconds behind Sandel. He should, yeah. This can get into a fight here. I think it will. We're gonna stick with Bernardi for a while and take a look how he is closing in to Sandel. Not yet. Yes, he is inside of. No, not yet inside of the DRS. Of the second of DRS. Oh, Carlo, really close here. What's happening here? Something big is happening, unfolding here. Let's go a little bit back. All right. I think it was a mistake from Phasage here, and a big one too. Oh, buddy, that's so unfortunate. Yeah, coming up to turn 2. Oh, steers in a little bit too much. Can you get it out of the wall still? Oh no, why you go this way? It's impossible, but alright, a little bit damage. And Carlo overtaking Phases due to that incident. Okay, 7th position for you now, Amar, but yeah, I know you have good pace and I hope you can fight back your way up to the guys in front of you. Alright, Sandel, close to Phasage, then also due to that mistake. And Bonardi following Sandel on in his turn. All right. And then, as we can see, Malone did make a pit stop here. Malone pitted before. Yeah, Diaz moving out of the way for Vanatti pretty beautifully. Okay, that's great. But yeah, Malone pitted, and Vanatti is was driving on the medium. Sorry, the soft tires, so he can go a little bit further and will have the advantage. Of the better tire the rest of the race probably. I think it was lap 13. Lap 13, Vanotti. I think he's gonna stretch his stint with just one lap. Yes, as you can see, he's not pitting yet. So Malone has to heat up his tires and make sure he has good pace with this medium compound of tire. And it's hard to heat them up, but once they are warm, they can last a long time, luckily, because it was like 23 laps for Malone going on this tire. And yeah, as we can see, Vanotti here with 19 seconds ahead of Malone. Yeah, is that gonna be enough for Malone to get back in the lead? We're gonna keep an eye on that. 19.5 seconds must be enough, but it was 18.5, so the pace of Vanotti is slightly better between these pit stops, but I think Vanotti is about to pit this lap, so we're gonna stick around to witness that. There was something else happening lap 11. Yeah, and there Vanotti is going to the pits. Let's see if Malone can get his position back. Vanotti stopping really carefully. Malone already coming up to the long straight. Vanotti coming out of the pits, but Malone is getting his position back right here. As we can see, only now Vanotti is coming out of the pits and continuing his way on the same tire, and he has to heat up his tires, of course, himself too, so that's gonna take some time. And the distance now between Malone and Vanotti is actually 6 seconds, so the undercut did work, but the advantage of the tire the rest of the race is for Vanotti, and we'll keep an eye on this Oh, Sandel going into the pits. That was the reason that it was really close to Bernardi there. All right. Constantino on 8th position now. You must have pitted already. Whoa. Whoa, are you serious, Constantino? You went from the soft tire, the super soft tire, to the soft tire. And I think that is a really risky move to finish the race on the soft tire for about, what is it, 20 laps. 20 laps on. Okay. There are a lot of things I have to keep an eye on, but I try to do the best I can. I actually forgot what lap it was. Okay, no problem. If everything is correct, what definitely is not the case. No. Malone, first place at the moment. Let's just... Now the helmet is only visible at Malone's car because it's not a stream. Yeah, definitely. Malone's helmet here. Pretty nice to see. Alright, I was talking. Malone on first place, followed by Vanotti about 5.5 seconds. I think Vasic now third place still. Constantino, but Vasic still has to pit. Yes. Constantino, 1, 2, 3, fourth, fourth place. I'm sorry. And then probably followed by Ain't, really close. Yeah, very well done. At this moment in time, at least. But I think they both made a pit stop, and as we know from Ain't, he's going for a second pit stop. So this is pretty nice to see, actually, between the two. They both started on the C4 compound of tire, and what's happening there? Was he hit? No. A lockup. What is this? That's strange. Strange car behavior. Okay. But both started on the C4, both went to the C3. Yeah, but Ain't is going for another pit stop. Let's see how that falls out. I don't believe this two-stopper is the better choice, but okay. Carlo, a lonely race for you again. And Valdemar too, but later on, if I'm correct, you're gonna fight a little better with Bonatti. All right. On board with Antage. We already saw a little mistake from him, but let's see if he found his rhythm back. Yeah. And is able to get back at who is that in front over there. I think it must be. Is Antage last now? It's so hard when the leaderboard is not working correctly. And it's just a little bit too far away to see the names. Just on track, maybe can do... No. Lap 18. All right. We're going back to Fanotti for a while because Fanotti closed the gap a little bit. Oh, and now it's, as I am telling, he closed the gap by a second or so. The gap is going up, but going down again. Yeah, I think I'm right. It's 4.8 seconds at the moment, as it was 5.5 seconds before. So Vanotti slightly um, gaining some time on Malone. Yeah, let's see if he can close that gap even more and get back at the tail of Malone. That would be amazing to see a fight at the first place, fighting for first place, of course. Constantino driving a really well race. A little bit lonely here, but okay, just focus on your driving and don't make any mistakes. Followed by Vasic is in the pits at the moment. Okay, there he goes. So Constantinon followed by Aint, fighting with Antic at the moment. Antic going really wide. Can he find that traction and challenge Aint again for the next corner? He is trying, but the distance is a little bit too big. Going wide. And yeah, he has to settle behind Aint again. But nice fighting here. But yeah, still, as we know from Aint, he will go into the pits again for a second pit stop. And as I can see him fight with Antic here, I really think that was not the way to go. But yeah, I can imagine when you're stuck behind someone that you choose a different strategy. Of course, maybe fix some damage, but yeah, you still have 27 seconds as a pit stop on this track. If I am correct, it's somewhere around 26 to 27 seconds of loss when you make a pit stop. All right, we are going back to Malone on lap 20. We're gonna take a look at his T-cam view. Only 4.4 seconds to Vanotti at this moment in time. Yeah, so still Vanotti has slightly better pace, but I also have to say that Malone was managing the gap a little bit. He's not driving on the limit, of course, because yeah, you don't want to make mistakes. And if it's not necessary, don't go for those risks. Going a little bit wide here in turn one. Yeah, but the gap is getting a little bit bigger again. No, it's closing in after that mistake. Only 4 seconds here to Vanotti. Okay, we stick with this view for a little bit more, because now it is 4 seconds to Vanotti, and see what's happening here. Someone in front is making a mistake there. It is Sandel. Sandel coming up on track and almost taking Malone out of the race here. We're gonna take another look at this in slow motion. Look at the steering inputs of Malone. He really makes an avoiding move to avoid contact here. You can see he's choosing to go over the grass. Really risky, almost. Yeah, the risk of losing his car is really big, but he's handling it very well. Great car control. But Mr. Sandel, this is not the way to go back on track. As you can see here, even when you are in cockpit view or whatever, you can see Malone coming here, right? But you're just choosing to go on track and just block Malone totally. And it's really lucky for Malone that he could pull off this avoiding move here. So yeah, unsafe rejoin for Sandel, and it's gonna cost you, buddy. I think unsafe rejoin is 5 seconds when there's not a spin or something. So 5 seconds for you, Valdemar, unfortunately. Watch out a little bit better next time, because it is interfering with the fight for the leaders. And here you you move aside pretty well for Vanotti, and as we can see what's happening because of that, then now the gap is below 4 seconds. It's actually 3.6 3.7 seconds around here. So Malone lost some time, but okay, still the gap is around 4 seconds. So it's not impossible for Malone to manage the gap again. But yeah, it was tricky. It was risky. It was scary. And yeah, luckily nobody suffered any damage from this. Or time. Okay. Yeah. Bonardi getting close um, to Valdemar after his mistake too. So I think this he is gonna be a pretty nice fight. 4 drivers pretty close together. Let's stick around to witness this driving from Bonardi, getting really close inside the DRS window right now. And I think Valdemar had some damage from that moment. And also he's on the medium compound tire here. I am wondering how Bonardi can finish the race on this tire. I don't think he can finish the race on the super soft tires for 12 more laps, but we will see. Okay, beautiful barn. Where are the cars? Jesus. Okay. Bonardi closing in, trying to go for the outside, but cannot make the move stick. Has the second DRS 2, getting to the outside again. Maybe tried to go for the switchback here and get earlier on the throttle, but that was not meant to be. Alright. Also really close is Fajic to Carlo for 5th place. But this track is so tight. It is so tight, guys. I actually feel happy that these 2 tracks are over after this weekend, because we need some more close side by side racing. I think that's really great to see on track. Okay, closing in here, really close to Carlo Fazic, going for the inside, and has the second DRS zone as well, so he must be able to pull this off, and he is on the softer compounded tire. But also the story for Fazic, is he able to finish the race for another 11 laps or so on these soft component tire? I'm not sure when they padded, but and as we can see, something happened to Antich. We missed this moment, but I'll leave it with that. But Antich is out of the race, didn't finish, unfortunately. Going back to Bonardi, because it's really close to Sandel at this moment in time, going for the outside on this fast left-hander, and that's not gonna work, of course, but prepare your next move. Coming up to the chicane, and let's see in this journey part of track. Yeah, if Bonardi can close up to Sandel for the long straight to make a move with the DRS, maybe. Carlo also really close to Fazic, but we stick with Bonardi for a while because he deserves some airtime too when he's close to someone else. And there, let's see. You have the better tires for now. You are within that 1 second. You have 2 DRS zones for you opening. Can you make something out of this, Bonardi? Show us your moves. Show us what you can do. The gap is a little bit big to get close, but whoa, braking really late for Bonardi, but missing the apex therefore, and yeah, now it's impossible to go for another move. Okay, switching back to Carlo because Carlo fighting Fazic. It's really close here. Yeah. Wow. This looks like Carlo really wants the position. I think Vesic on the super soft compound of tire. These tires dropped off quite a bit. I think, at least. So I think the benefit is for Carlo on the tires as he is getting close again. By the way, Vanotti is back on 5.5 seconds again from Malone. What lap are we in? 26. Only 9 laps to go. I think Vesic found some pace again and built that gap up to almost a second again. So switch back to Bonardi. Let's see if he can pull something out of its magic hat again. Oh, and as you can see, Vanotti all of a sudden is with 4 seconds from Malone, and that means that Malone made a mistake, or I actually think there was a back marker acting kind of strange for Malone, and that took some time from him. But 4 seconds is still reasonable, a reasonable gap, so no worries for now. But yeah, you never know. Still really close to Sandel, Bonardi, but unable to really get. Yeah, you can brake really late, but you cannot miss the apex. I think this corner was a little bit better than last time around, but not enough to make a move here, unfortunately. And yeah, and then you have to start over all over again. And then Vesic, at this moment, he was really close to Carlo, but now lost out again too. I think he made a mistake. Okay. And I think it's time to go back to Vanotti, because Vanotti closed the gap from 5.5 seconds to 3.5 seconds. Only 2 seconds between the two. And Malone is getting too close to some back marker here. Okay. I have to be honest here. As we see Carlo, and now it is the time for Carlo to get off throttle on this straight part, so Malone can have the racing line back before the corner, but Carlo decides to just give Malone space inside the corner, and that's actually a bad way of letting you lap. And usually, at least usually, before it was oftenly the case that Malone had a big gap to the number 2, so it was not a big of a problem. But in this case, the gap is getting closer and closer to Vanotti, and that means that every single tenth of a second is counting, and then you just want the back marker to get out of the way here. Get back markers, please listen up to this. Get off throttle here on the straight and just get your car behind before the corner, not inside the corner. This is ridiculous. It's taking the same amount of time from you, but it's unpredictable. I don't know what you're gonna do. I don't know if you're gonna leave space. If you ever saw me in your mirrors, or yeah. So, Carlo, I leave it with a warning this time, but please get off throttle on a straight part of track before the turn. And yeah, not inside the turn. Thank you. Okay, we continue. Let's see. Diaz following Constantino. And this is actually for third place. So, or it's Diaz lapped. No, it's It should be. It should be. No, it's definitely for the points. And Fasic also back to, who was that? A little bit back here. To Carlo. Okay. Oh, Carlo going slow through that chicane. And then there opens a gap, and Fasic is happy to take it. Yeah, and following. Oh, Fenotti is there. Yeah, I remember. Okay, I put this a little bit back. Just I don't know if it's gonna screw up the times, but as you can see here, Fenotti is overtaking Carlo. Here after a mistake, actually. Okay, Carlo was lapped after a mistake he made with fighting Fasic. Okay, we go one more time back. Carlo, yes. Oh, yeah. Now I remember. You made that weird moment here. Malone is lapping you in a weird way, but Carlo, you did do more because you're hanging in the rear of Malone so close. It's scaring some guys to go really close in this section when you're lapped. I think why it looks like you're fighting the car, and yeah. Okay, let's say it like this. I won't recommend getting so close when you just let some leader pass. Just take a little bit of a distance. When you miss your braking point here, you're taking out the leader, right? You're suffering from dirty air, and that's exactly why your car won't steer in at this moment in time, making a mistake and also losing another position here to Fasic. Fanotti then lapping you, yeah, but Fasic is putting his car beside you here as well. You're not in your rhythm anymore, and here you go, losing an actual position. Just do the blue flags a little bit better, Carlo, and yeah, give a leader a little bit more space. Yeah, so that he won't have to be afraid to push the brakes when some lap car is closely behind him. All right. From this point on, I think it's gonna be time to get back at Venotti's. Oh, Diaz still close. Diaz, a wonderful race from you, because I know Constantino, yeah, is gonna finish on the podium today. Well done, Constantino. But Diaz, you're following him pretty close. For who was first place in the end? Actually, it was for Fasic. Okay, you're gonna lose out somehow. Okay, this is not the way it is. Well, we're gonna see. For now, Diaz can follow the pace of Constantino pretty well. So nice to see. All right. The gap between Vanotti and Malone still is still 3 seconds, but it's getting less and less. It says 21. Okay. Ah, Diaz, you're so close. But yeah. Closing in is something else than overtaking, as we all know. Oh, a little bit of a mistake there. That's gonna cost you some time. Going over that second again. Ah, that's too bad. Now you're lost DRS for the upcoming straight. So, oh, and another mistake. tank slapper, or how you call this. It's actually a motorcycle term, I believe. But yeah, just a little bit of an oversteer moment, going a little bit too much over the curb on the outside, maybe. But yeah, spinning out. Luckily, not losing a position to Vicious at that moment in time, but you totally lost connection uh, to Constantino, unfortunately. All right, and now it's the moment we go back to Venotti because the gap all of a sudden, I don't know, Malone didn't feel that he made a mistake or something, but somehow Vanotti gained like more, yeah, 1.5 seconds and getting really close to Malone. And look, guys, this is a fight for first place. So we're gonna take a look at this fight from this moment in time to the end. Let's see. The distance is 1.2 seconds. Not within the DRS yet, but he is getting closer and closer. And now he is within the second. So Malone, yeah, he was a little bit surprised that the gap was closed so quickly. But now Malone is changing mindset. I have to say, these couple of laps, uh, Malone did have something to spare, but he wanted to build his battery for the end for the last two laps, so he didn't use ERS all the time to save some for the last lap when he probably needed the most. Yeah, the gap is just big enough for Malone to cover the straight, using ERS here, of course. And yeah, as you can see, Vanotti, even with DRS, not closing in so much, but he has a second DRS zone right here. But the gap still remains about 5/10 of a second. And yeah, this part of the lap, Malone again tries to save some battery for defending the next time around. He's not really worried to get overtaken here in this section of the track, of course, but he has to make sure that the gap to Venotti is at least 5/10 of a second before they go up to the long straight. And as you can see, the gap is actually closer than that, so it's getting really tight. Malone really has to pull off a good sector time here. Let's see if he can do that. 5/10, that should be enough. A little bit of movement in the car of Malone, good car control, really trying to find the point on his throttle where the rear end is getting loose, and yeah, of course that's the limit of the car. But he's trying to build that up from in a safe manner, So pushing that throttle until the point it's gonna slip, and then stay there, but not go to that point too quickly, because that's really risky, and then you will lose the car probably. But good job from both guys to fight hard, but still not make really make mistakes. Ah, this is amazing. The last couple of laps so close to between 1 and 2. The back marker is coming up, and as Malone had some bad memories about back markers this time around, he's getting a little bit stressed because of the back marker that's coming up. But as I can see, it is a pink car that has to be Constantino. And luckily, we know Constantino does know what he's doing, and he will get out of the way for the leaders pretty beautifully. Okay, trying to get rid of the slipstream from Malone at least one time. Yeah, gap still again big enough to cover off the straight, but now it's up to Vanotti to get close in this second little DRS zone. But yeah, that's so short. It's too short. Then you really have to be, yeah, on the other car almost. All right. What lap are we on? This is lap 34. Oh, there you can see Constantino going, making space very, very in a sportive way. Thank you very much for that. And yeah, last lap is coming up. Malone all to the defense. Vanatti probably slightly faster pace. Yeah, in the last stint, especially in the last couple of laps. Maybe the tires of Malone are dropping off because he was pitting a little bit two laps earlier, so the advantage of the tires is for Vanotti. But as you can see, Malone going really wide to make sure he has a good exit. It is close. It is close. Vanotti, are you gonna do it? This is your only chance, probably. No, he's choosing to stay behind, making a better exit here. But Malone covered this up pretty great. And no chances for Vanotti right here. Last lap. Malone. Ooh, a little bit of a moment of Vanotti. Still trying, still trying. You never know. One mistake is enough for Vanotti to get this win. So yeah, but the dirty air is providing him to come really, really close. Yeah, great defensive drive these last couple of laps from Malone. And yeah, I have to say it is the track that won't allow overtakes for Vanotti. So this is, yeah, Malone just has too much experience to yeah, let Vanotti take this win, of course. And here you can see Malone first place, Vanotti second place. Third place is going to be for Constantino. Well driven. Great to see you on the podium again. Great points for Team Rocket. And Vasic coming in fourth place. Good points for MRV Motorsport. And as Vanotti lost his teammate, yeah, his teammate wasn't attending this time. So Vanotti with his team is suffering from a points loss in the championship as well as the drivers championship. It's gonna be 11 points from now, as well as the team championship that also is gonna be in the benefit of MRV Motorsport. And another mistake here from Vasic, but it was actually after the race. Yeah. All right. I think the championship only got better because yeah, the third place battle is open. I think I think the top 7 guys or the top 8 guys can fight for third place in the championship. That's amazing, of course. Guys, there's plenty to drive for. Also, the first place in the championship, really excited because Vanotti is really close. Only 11 points is the difference between the two of them. We have 4 races to go. So everything is possible. And yeah, really looking forward to see how this all is going to unfold. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time, guys. And yeah, till then, bye bye.